Okay, let's divide the number 136413 by 23. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to produce the multiplication table of times 23. Here it is. Now, I'm going to look at the first number inside the division house, the first digit. That number is the number 1. And I'm going to squeeze the number 1 somewhere in between two numbers in the multiplication table. I can see that the number 1 is actually in between the 0 and the 23. So I'm going to choose the entire expression 0 times 23 equals 0. So I'm going to write 0 on top of the division house, and I'm going to write down 0 right underneath the number 1. Okay? And I'm going to perform a subtraction of 1 and 0. So I have 1 minus 0 is equals to 1. That's a no-brainer. And that's it. The rest is just a series of steps, just repeating the first step. So we're going to do it one more time. I'm going to bring down the number 3 so that I now have the number 13. And I'm going to squeeze the number 13 somewhere in the multiplication table. And I can see that the number 13 is in between the 0 and the 23. So I'm going to choose the expression 0 times 23 equals 0. So I'm going to write down 0 on top of the division house, and I'm going to write down 0 right underneath the number 13. And I'm going to perform a subtraction. 13 minus 0, that's a no-brainer, that's 13. Okay? So now I'm going to bring down the next number inside the division house, and that number is the number 6, so that I now have the number 136. And again, we're just going to repeat the same step again. The same step that we just did now, we're going to repeat it again. We're going to squeeze the number 136 somewhere in between two numbers in the multiplication table. I can see that the number 136, it's in between the number 115 and 138. So I'm going to choose the entire expression 5 times 23 equals 115. So I'm going to write down 5 on top of the division house, and I'm going to write down 115 right underneath the number 136, and I'm going to perform a subtraction. I have 136 minus 115 is equals to 21. And again, I'm going to bring down the next number inside the division house, which is the number 4. So I bring it down. So I have 214. And guess what we're going to do again? We're going to squeeze that number somewhere in between two numbers in the multiplication table. So I see that the number 214 is in between the number 207 and 230. So I'm going to choose the entire expression 9 times 23 equals 207. So I'm going to write down 9 on top of the division house, and I'm going to write down the number 207 right underneath the number 214. And I'm going to perform a subtraction again. 214 minus 207 is 7. And there it is. What are we going to do again is drop the number 1. There it is, so that I now have the number 71. And again, I'm going to squeeze the number 71 somewhere in between two numbers in the multiplication table. See how easy this is? So I can see the number 71 is in between the numbers 69 and 92. So I'm going to choose the entire expression 3 times 23 equals 69. So I'm going to write down 3 on top of the division house, and I'm going to write down the number 69 right underneath the number 71. I perform a subtraction. 71 minus 69 is 2. That's easy, right? Okay, what are we going to do now? We're going to bring down the number 3 so that I now have the number 23. And I'm going to squeeze the number 23 somewhere in between two numbers in the multiplication table. And I can see that the number 23 is actually equals to the expression 1 times 23 equals 23. So I'm going to choose that expression. So I'm going to write down 1 on top of the division house, and I'm going to write down 23 right underneath the number 23, and I'm going to perform a subtraction, and we can see that 23 minus 23 is 0. There are no more numbers to bring down, so we're finished. That's it. Easy.